Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode on the Paradigm Shift Show. The Paradigm Shift Show is all about redefining, re strategizing, and changing the way we think and work. I remain your host, Nata, a serial entrepreneur, a strategist, and someone who is always looking for new ways to change the way you think and work. And today, with me on this episode, I have really amazing guests. I mean, you really want to hear how these people think. It's different from what you have been used to. And we have Mr. Benz on this episode today. Mr. Benz, what do you do?
Okay, I'm a printer and maybe a rector somehow, but not fully into it yet. But actually, I'm a printer for now.
It's such an honor to have you here.
Same here, man.
And we have another guest on my left. She is so gorgeous. I mean, she's glowing from right here beside me. And my darling, you are welcome to this episode today. It's so good to have you here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Bushra. I'm Yusuf.
It's so good to have you on the show today.
It's so good to be here too. Thank you.
So we're going to delve into today's topic, which is empowering change, the crucial role of women in Nigeria. I mean, it's the 21st century, and we all know that women have actually been sidelined, especially in Nigeria. I would not speak about any other country because, I mean, I don't know what is obtainable there. But in Nigeria, we know that women have been sidelined. It's so bad that in an organization, you get to see women work twice as hard as what the men do. And yet there's literally no recognition. They have to fight more. They fight double to get to where the men are. It's really pathetic. And I would throw the first question to you, Mr. Big Benz. I'm sorry, I'm adding the Mr., but you are big. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so my question is, seeing how hard women work, seeing the kind of effort women put in, regardless of every responsibility they have, they put in so much effort to becoming something, especially in the political realm. Why do you think that women are underrated? Because I would say they are underrated in the political realm. Why do you think that most of their efforts go unnoticed?
Okay, I'll start by saying women are not underrated.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll put it to you that women actually are the one that limit themselves.
Okay.
How do I? Okay, what I mean to say now is that women in this our locality, in Africa, women mostly work with the mindset of, okay, I'm 20 plus, so the next thing for me to do, instead of diving into career and what other stuff, they tend to quickly maybe jump into marriage. You understand? So, and that alone can be a yardstick. You understand? So, but then, aside this stuff I earlier said, our cultural and religious norms in Africa here, I think, is one of the things that tends to limit the women. How? Because in the African culture, the women tends to be like more of a supportive system than than being the head. You understand? So them diving into that point is really kind of struggling for them. But then for me, I don't think women are kind of like marginalized when it comes to political aspects in Nigeria.
I have so much to ask you because there are some points you made that really I don't agree with, but I'm going to ask Bourgeois here what she feels about what you just said, because honestly, I think that in the 21st century, women no longer have in their minds like what we were told when we were way younger in the 90s.
Okay.
Women no longer have that mindset that when you're 20 something, once you graduate from school, your husband's house, I think that mindset has changed.
Okay.
So, but I want to ask you, do you think that women having the hunger and drive to be in Nigerian politics, do you think it's about this feminism thing? You want to show that, oh, as what a man can do, a woman can do better, or do you think it's actually women that want to really bring about change in Nigeria? Like, do you think that's their goal, trying to join the politics, or is it just about showing show of power and all that?
Okay, thank you for that question. Women trying to join politics is not about ego or any kind of show. It is about them trying to show that they have the ability and then they have the capacity to deliver effectively in leadership position. Women are a very kind of unique being because we are one of kind of being that is that has the capacity to multitask a lot.
Right.
You see a woman being a mother, a daughter, mother-in-law, and then still doing amazing in whatever career choice that they've chosen. And if you look at statistics, any kind of position that probably men are holding down before, and then
A woman takes over.
a woman takes over, you will definitely see the difference. Like women do it effortlessly. If
Okay.
you go to graduation or convocation ceremony, you have to see the number and amount of students that are graduating in first class. You would definitely see that a higher percentage of them are females. And that is because we fought to be in this space. There was a time when women are not allowed to go to school. We fought to be in this space. So
Right.
about the political space, I believe that in the next few years, it will change. And women will definitely take over. And then whenever they take over, you definitely see the change in the leadership of a woman.
Yeah, so you said something about women being having the capacity to multitask. It's really a great point, and I honestly, it's a wonder for me that men know, or generally the world knows, that women lead a home. Right? We are people who can make a home. Why doesn't it translate into women having the capacity to make a nation? I don't know if you get my question. You trust us to make your home, to keep your home as women. But when it comes to political issues about nature and the nation and all that, you hear men saying, or people, because it's not just men. Yeah, a lot of women also say these things like, we lead with emotions, so a woman doesn't have the capacity to lead a nation. Why do you think that is?
Okay. There's this passive and emotional thing, you understand,
Yeah.
in this whole thing. The ability for a woman to, take over her home, take over everything that is surrounding her, domestically, is different when it's happening outside.
What makes it different?
Okay. What actually makes it different is that, most of the thing you see men are doing today, they obviously must have started doing it from grassroots. It's not something that they just woke up one day and then, dive into. No. It's something they've started doing from grassroots.
Don't you think that the ratio between the women who are going into politics and the men who are into politics is so different because of our fear, the fear that men would definitely not support us leading them? Because, I mean, they are the head, right?
Okay. In every society, even in the world, if you check statistically, the population of women, of the women are more than the men. So if Nigeria, for instance, maybe if we have about 250 million population and you have like 150 to 170 million women, then how is it now the male fault? It's the women that are not supporting the women.
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
Okay, I want to hear your own view.
Okay. So he said earlier that it is not society. I have to cut you there. It is a society. Because the kind of environment you've created for women, even okay, let's even start from the education part. Women that have to fight to go to school. So imagine that kind of environment that they've told you that okay, you do not need to go to school. All you have to do is probably learn one skill, and even the skill is basically home skills of taking care of domestic chores and everything, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to make your money. Your husband will take care of you and all those kind of things. So they grew up in that kind of environment. So what do you expect them to think of themselves? And that is what the part of women do not support women. I have to consider, because women are truly supporting women. There were women who have cleared this path for us that were coming behind, and they were the one that motivated us to say, for for the fact that this woman can do it, then I can do it. I contested as the vice president of the University of Ilorin and I won. But I must also tell you that that position is specifically set aside for women.
A vice,
Yes,
in quotes.
a vice in quotes.
Okay.
We, although at some point we had women contested for president, but till now none has ever won. But what I have to tell you is that if the kind of situation, the kind of environment that the political arena is, if you as a woman are going into that space, you have to know that you are keeping your feminism at home. Because you have to go for meetings by 1 o'clock in the night, do a lot of things, and then even in those political space, the way some men just speak to you, it is very degrading. When I became the vice president, I had a lot of presidents under me, faculty presidents. And then sometimes when I'm trying to address them on things, the way they kind of feel, it was like a tough battle for me for the first 2 months. But I had to make them understand that I didn't get to this position by just being a woman.
Right.
Just being a woman. Although, yes, it is set aside for women, but I fought for it. I did everything possible that a man would do to get to this position. I could remember during our press night, one of the moderators was asking me that, why didn't I contest for the president? But I'm like, I just wanted to stay here at this moment. So imagine those kind of situation. I am a vice president, not even a president then. Imagine I am now the president. The kind of situation that I will face with these men. Because they just feel like, why are you telling me to do this? Why are you? Even those in the same, like, that we are executive, they will be like, why? But I'm like, I didn't get to this position just because I am a woman. I got to this position because I deserve it. So I have to hold on to that capacity and then show you that this job must be done.
And get all the benefits that even the men do get in the role. So as an aspiring, because I see you as one of the maybe president of Nigeria in the future, right? How do you think women can balance, traditional roles, the roles that nature has given us as women? How do you think we women can balance that and politics?
It is it might not be easy, because doing good things and great things is never easy. Just the way it is for men and women, but it is very possible. Have you watched this film G20?
No.
Okay, it was recently released. In the movie, Viola Davis, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but she was the president of America in the movie. She is married, happily married with kids, and she handled it very well. And I've seen women around me that they handled. You see women, professor, and then they are doing a lot in the academic space, and also they have their own, and they are doing very well. So it is very possible to handle this. It is just about setting your priorities and then boundaries and then choosing your values. So it is very possible.
So, Mr. Big Benz, can you allow your wife delve into politics?
Definitely, if she picks interest in it.
And you support her?
Definitely.
Regardless of the fact that she might not be able to balance the roles of the home with the political ambitions.
Okay, I believe that before my wife will start talking about politics, she must have, done some certain things, you understand, to get herself ready, both domestically and, outside there, to make sure, okay, this is how I'm going to balance both the home and the politics. Well, for me, it's not bad. I can support her 100%.
What are the things you think she should do to strike a balance?
Okay.
From a man's perspective now.
Okay.
For you to say she's ready. Babe, we're ready. Go, I support you.
Okay. Before she will tell me that she wants to probably join the politics and whatever, I must have start seeing the sign in her. Politics is not something that you just wake up one morning and then tomorrow I want to become. No, you have to start giving all these signs that okay, you want to do it. Then we'll start supporting you from the grassroots before you get to the top. But me, I'm not against it. I'm someone that really, really like women doing something big. You understand? So I will definitely support her.
Just like you were saying, a lot of women have been groomed with the mindset that eventually they end in the home and the home is where they belong. Do you realize that If she, your wife, decides to delve into politics, you literally might not see her much at home. Like, am I making sense? You might not see her much at home. The children, most of the time, would need an extra person to come take care of them because she might not always be available. And are
Okay.
you okay with that?
I don't know if you can remember vividly when we started this whole
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I told you that women are the ones limiting themselves.
That's what you said.
So me that said that, definitely I know from the angle where I'm saying that I'm coming from. So saying that I'm going to like feel bad, okay, she's going to have more things to do, she's not going to have time for the kids. After all, I'm not actually planning to marry a slave. You understand? So there's always provision for that. You understand? The moment I know that, okay, this person that I'm getting married to is a career person, so definitely I should be ready, to support her in every means possible. You understand? So that is just it.
Yeah, because you are saying this, but I feel like a lot of women, like he said, are limiting themselves not because they want to limit themselves, but because of course, the notion, the mindset, you want to go do this thing. Your husband is already asking you, so who will take care of the children? Madam, come and cook. I think there's this leader one time that said women belong in the kitchen, right? So you have a child growing up with that mindset. How do you expect that child to already prepare her mind for you know doing great things, leading and growing in the nation? So let's go back to the foundation, which is the family setting.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's important for families to inculcate in their children the mindset that, listen, you can lead? I mean, there's Okonjo Iweala. She's a leader and she's doing beautiful, and she is a woman, married. There is a lot of others who are role models. Do you think that families should do more in bringing out the female
In fact,
child?
I feel like all these discussions should definitely go back to the family because it is the foundation of every society, and all this talk of society does not support. It is really the family that does not support. And I'm so grateful for the kind of family I came from because I standing up today and saying, okay, I want to do this. Also, it's because of the kind of environment that I grew up in, the kind of belief and trust that they have that you can do this. So like I grew up going out with my dad to attend events.
Oh wow.
I grew up telling him to he telling me that, okay, you can do this, you do this, you do this, planning for me, okay, these are the kind of event that you should attend, these are the kind you can do this, you can. So I am here today because of the kind of background and environment I grew up in. And I know for sure that not everyone grew up in that kind of environment. They're kind of environment that they tell you that, okay, just because you're a female, your brother is automatically better than you. You understand that kind of thing. So they grew up with that mindset of I am not enough, I am not human enough, I have to always stay at the back, I have to just. So we need more women, especially, and then family to motivate, to empower our younger women and adults that are just coming up to always take up capacity, because you cannot build capacity without serving. You have to
Right.
serve in that space, you have to build it. So to take up the capacity, and it comes from home, it comes from telling them that, okay, we are going to this thing, why don't you just plan it? We want to meet this person, why don't you just walk up to this person to speak to them on how to plan? So it comes from like building them through that process. So by the time they are growing into an adult, they already know that I can lead, and there is nowhere that I'll go to and they will just like sideline me because I'm a woman. I
Right.
can do it and I don't have to sit at the back.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, of course, everything starts from the foundation, from the family. Imagine a girl child growing with, this in her head that daddy says, I can do this, I can lead, I can be great. Mommy said, I can be a leader. I mean, it forms her, it grows her. As she's growing, she's already, directing her mindset, doing things that puts her. I'm sure when before you started politics in school, you already had that mindset that you wanted to be into politics because of how your family formed you, like you said. So going over to you, sir, I want to know, do you think that political parties should inculcate programs that helps put women, you know, prepare them for what is obtainable in politics?
But You say if I think,
You think so?
because I know that there is no restriction for that.
But is
Like
there's none.
there's no restriction for that, like for women not to, involve in politics. So since there's no restriction for the male, and I don't think there will be restriction for female rather. So
Okay.
what I think we should be talking about here is maybe how to, bring women, on their own, how to bring themselves together, and then try to learn how to support one or two people, to come and represent them. You understand? Because if you don't do it for yourself, just like you said, at a point they fought for them to be in school. You
Right.
understand? Someone started that movement. You understand? Someone can also, initiate this. You understand? So that we can have a society that is kind of balanced. You understand? So for now, I feel like nobody restrict them. So it should be an internal thing, within, for them to, make it happen for themselves.
So, as a man, from a man's perspective, you do think that the rise of women in politics and governance generally can bring about a change in Nigeria, right?
Definitely, we are all human. It's not about gender right now. It's just about you doing the right thing.
What about better governance?
Definitely, I still feel like they can.
Okay, we have. I'm impressed. No, actually, I'm impressed because
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of men I sit down to talk with do not think that women can make good leaders.
Maybe they are seeing it psychologically.
Right.
Women are more emotional. You understand? At times they make some decisions like wrongfully. Most times I can say, you understand, they don't really take their time, to see, to picture, to know how the end point of it something will be like. They just, decide on how they feel instead of, checking how the thing is going to result to. You understand? So I feel like it's more of psychological something more than we limiting them.
From time immemorial, we've had a lot of logical people that are not emotional beings lead our country and Africa in general. And
Yeah.
honestly, we still see the same things. But when you look at the Western world,
Yeah.
where women are given the platform to
Okay.
thrive, women are up there. I mean, look at Okonjo-Iweala. She is doing better
Okay.
than she's more recognized in foreign lands than even in our country. She was recognized, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
in Nigeria, but her drive to grow and the grounds that she was given in the Western world is more than she could ever get in Nigeria.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm trying to say is, don't you think that Nigeria needs more of these emotional beings, because most of this Western world that have brought women in are doing better than us?
Okay. I want to debate a little. Like, there's something called system. You understand? And in this system, you could see that our Nigerian players, they traveled abroad, they play better there.
Okay.
Why? Maybe because they have a better system there. You understand?
Okay.
They mixed with the whites. Now, I'm not saying that we the blacks were bad at all. No, I'm not saying that. But there's this you know mindset that
right.
when you are around these people, you need to be perfect, to remain on top. But bringing it back home, you understand that you don't really need to be perfect. What you need to do is to understand how the games go. You understand? So it's the mindset that is affecting us. It's not about the logical whatever. But I'm just bringing that, to maybe the layman understanding that,
Understanding,
okay,
okay.
women are kind of like logical, they are emotional. You understand? Rather, they are more emotional. But then I still believe it's the system that has made them to be so.
So,
Yeah.
okay. You have something to add to that?
Not really. It's just still about the system, and that is really working on our system as in Nigeria as a whole. Because apart from limiting women, also it also limit the goals and visions of the child. Because if you are placed in a system like a functioning system, then you definitely thrive. And that also brings me back to creating an environment that is convenient and motivate women to actually achieve their goals. Those systems that you're talking about, they made it there. We can also make those systems here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we are imploring the people, the women in power and also men in power, because it is something that we hope it is a collective action.
Indeed.
It is not just on one person to do, because the women are not the only one in the country.
Yeah.
So if they are saying they are creating probably an empowerment, talking to women, if the men are not supporting, yes, they will do something, but then their support would also mean something to the movement. So this is me imploring everyone in power and also those that are not in power yet to create an environment that can be convenient and comfortable for women to thrive in politics and also every other part of any kind of this thing that they venture into.
I hope you all are hearing that. Please endeavor, implore the people around you, empower the women around you. And what would you want to say to families and how they can inculcate these ideas in their children before we round up?
Okay. I think they need to take off first of all, take up the idea of this is what a male child can do, like probably from the domestic things that they do in their house. They need to like set up um a kind of format that will enable the whole child know that okay, this is our responsibility, not like this,
Yeah,
you understand, this is for that.
yeah.
So I feel like parents still need to do more, and that is the main factor.
Yeah, you heard that right. Parents, you still have to do more. And as we individuals, we women, we have a whole lot of responsibility to play when you want to be something. You don't wait. Nobody's coming to save you. I mean, gone are those days when we were taught as children that after school, marriage and stuff, yes, that's all good, but nobody's coming to save you. You gotta fight for what you want. Like he said, the system has been set, but it's left for you as a woman. You know what you want. You struggle, you work hard to get to where you want. No one is going to come hand you
Exactly.
leadership, right? You fight for it. So to every woman out there who is aspiring to be a politician, be a leader in any sector in the country and in the world, you can do it. You are enough. You have the power. You just need to push. You just need to believe in yourself. And everything will work out. It's been an amazing time on this episode. We have a lot more to talk about, but time will not permit us. But we do hope that you subscribe, like, and share. And always, always, always comment, because we want to hear what you think about each of the episodes we share on this channel. Do well to stay with us for our next episode. Have a very beautiful day.